Solo Sikoa is finally breaking out as the star. WWE wanted. Hello, guys. Welcome to my channel. I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Solo Sikoa made his main roster debut in 2022, being thrust into the main event scene alongside Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Many saw him as someone who would eventually break out, taking the Bloodline as his own and feuding with Roman Reigns. This happened throughout 2024 and early 2025, though his push came with the growing feeling of dissatisfaction from the WWE audience. Sikoa was simply not ready for the spotlight, ultimately failing in his role as SmackDown's #1 heel. However, things are beginning to change, and Sikoa's growth as a star has begun again in 2025. Following Roman Reigns' loss at WrestleMania 40, Solo Sikoa stepped up in his absence to lead the Bloodline, doing so in his own way by recruiting the likes of Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Sikoa led the group on SmackDown as the #1 heel act on the Blue brand, with Sikoa himself receiving a main event push, challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Although the group were getting decent heat, the overall feeling regarding Sikoa's push was that he was not ready for the spotlight. His promo work felt bland, and the whole Bloodline saga had become tiresome and repetitive. Sikoa headlined Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Bad Blood, and Survivor Series in 2024. Though on none of these occasions did he stand out in any spectacular way from an in-ring perspective. Unfortunately for him, the WWE fans didn't buy Sikoa as a serious threat. Roman Reigns returned, taking back the title of Tribal Chief from Sikoa. On the road to WrestleMania 41, the younger USO brother was very much out of favor, serving as more or less in a manager role alongside the rising star of Jacob Fatu. It was hard to see how Sikoa was going to recover any momentum. Solo Sikoa's work as a character has improved tenfold this year. The subtleties in his performances alongside Jacob Fatu, showing signs of jealousy at Fatu's title success and popularity, his levels of manipulation, and more have been nice to see. Additionally, Sikoa has shed the super stoic and serious persona that held him back last year, replacing it with something way looser, less serious, funnier, and more charismatic. It is little surprise, given his brothers, cousins, and ancestors, that Sikoa does in fact have that anoa'i charm, and this has given his character a new lease of life. His recent work has made it questionable as to why WWE waited this long to allow him to show more personality. Fatu would eventually break free from Sikoa, turning on him to a molten reaction at Money in the Bank last month and igniting a feud between the pair, which has done wonders for both of them. Sikoa and Fatu have chemistry on the mic and in the ring, bouncing well off one another. Sikoa has continued to align names to the Bloodline, maintaining him as someone who can generate easy heat, and in turn, this has enabled Fatu to serve as somewhat of an underdog despite his dominant presence. This all led up to their match at Night of Champions. In what is one of Sikoa's best singles matches to date, he defeated Jacob Fatu to win his first title on the main roster, the United States Championship at Night of Champions 2025. He cheated his way to being the first man to pin Fatu, adding further heat to their ongoing feud, making him more despicable as a heel and granting him a true breakout moment. This is the level Sikoa should have been built at last year. Instead of being thrust into the main event before he was ready, Sikoa looks comfortable with an elevational title over his shoulder, and his reign will help to build Fatu as a babyface on the chase, leading up to him reclaiming his gold. It was clear that WWE always saw Sikoa as a star of the future, and 2025 is finally the year where he is starting to make good on the potential that was seen in him early on. Solo Sikoa handed new name by veteran following WWE Night of Champions 2025. Solo Sikoa left WWE Night of Champions 2025 as the new United States champion and scored a pinfall win over Jacob Fatu. Recently, veteran Jim Cornette gave a new name to the 32-year-old star after the event. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu have some similarities when it comes to their in-ring styles. However, the difference between the two is noticeable, as Sikoa and Fatu often compete on a different caliber. Recently, Jim Cornette pointed it out and gave the new United States champion a new name in the promotion. Speaking on the Drive-Thru podcast, the legendary manager reacted to the title match from Saudi Arabia. During this, Cornette called Sikoa a temu fatu, meaning a lesser version of the Samoan werewolf. While the name wasn't his original creation and Sikoa is yet to accept it, the veteran explained how the 32-year-old WWE star is limited as a performer compared to Jacob Fatu, who does a lot inside the ring. Solo, Sikoa is kind of like, as we talked about a little bit before, a bit, as one of the kids said, the temu fatu. So Solo is a lot of punch and kick. Then when Fatu's fighting a guy, he's still taking the bumps and stuff, but he relies on a lot of punches and kicks. They're a little too similar to be complimentary, I think, but it was what it was. Jacob Fatu can fly around on the bumps in the place he needs to be, and Solo's kind of flat-footed, Cornette said. From 235 to 325. Solo Sikoa reveals new name for his faction on WWE SmackDown. Solo Sikoa went on a hiatus from the promotion when he lost the Ula Fala to Roman Reigns on WWE Raw's Netflix debut. However, he found a new ally when JC Mateo helped him and Jacob Fatu at Backlash 2025. After Jacob Fatu turned on him at Money in the Bank, the 32-year-old was given a title shot at Night of Champions 2025, where he debuted a new member to his group. Hikuleo, now known as Tala Tonga, joined Solo Sikoa and helped him get a win over the Samoan werewolf and claim the United States Championship. On the latest edition of WWE SmackDown, Solo Sikoa revealed that Mateo, Tala, and Tonga Loa are his family and called it MFT, My Family Tree.